Okay, guys. We're back again. Hope you all had a pretty nice day yesterday. Um, Day got kind of twisted. It's similar. I mean, it kind of got twisted for the better, at least I can say. Yesterday, we got the late Lowry news, and then we got the late Oladipo news. Lowry was somebody that I wasn't on anyway, but I really liked Oladipo yesterday, so with that news that came out, really just twisted my whole train of thought up. But I did end up cashing on both sites, and I hope you all did well, as well. So I'm gonna jump into main today. Before we get into that, you can look in my description. I have links to my Facebook page, my Facebook group, my Twitter, and you can, if you haven't liked it, I mean, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you can do that now, or you can do that at the end after you see how the content is. And let's jump right into it. This slate today is kind of pretty. We got a couple tricky games, and but the players are kind of like straightforward. So I mean, it's basically what you see is what you get slate, but there is a lot of options. It's a tricky slate, So let's jump right into this Atlanta and Orlando game. Uh, jumping. I'm just gonna go through them. We got Paul Millsap coming in at a nice price. I do like the price. I don't know if I like the play at the moment. Dwight Howard has a better price. At 6,800, I really think I like Dwight Howard a lot this game. He's a defensive center. He has an offensive matchup and Vucevic, so I think that he'll get a chance to show his show a little bit of defensive skills and get a little bit more easier rebounds. Vucevic is not a big time rebounder, and Vucevic is getting the bulk of the minutes over there, so it'll be interesting to see. But I do like Howard coming in at 6,800. Don't know the status of Dennis Schroeder yet. I don't mind Hardaway Jr. Um, the rest of these guys I probably won't be on, but keep an eye out for the Dennis Schroeder news. I'm quite sure he'll probably be playing today, but I don't know. So if he doesn't play, then Malcolm Delaney, he'll probably get the start again. Yesterday he was okay at 3K. Today he's at 3,500. Something I probably won't be looking towards rostering. Got to try to avoid the snowflakes, Looking at the Orlando side, Vucevic at 7,400, he is in play. Definitely, I don't know if I'll be playing him, but he's definitely in play on this 7-game slate. I like Fournier. Elfrid Payton is a GPP option. He's not someone you can trust in cash, and I'm a primarily GPP player, so I definitely don't mind Payton because I know the upside that he can, tag along on that 5,500 price tag, and then I'm not too fond of the defense over there on Atlanta side, So if Elfrid Payton can, first he got to get the minutes, he's predicated, he gets the minutes on account of how good he's playing, So if he can get 30, like 31, 30, 35 minutes, something like that, then he's playing well if he plays that many minutes. Otherwise they'll go to somebody like DJ Augustine or something like that. But Terrence Ross, I don't mind the play. And like I said, Aaron Gordon, he's all right. He's all right. He gets off to really good starts. I'm quite sure you all noticed that, but it's just it's, I don't know. He gets off the good starts and he drops off dramatically, but he's in play. He has a tough matchup against um, Millsap if he's guarding Millsap. So Terrence Ross at 4,500. We're gonna keep an eye out on these starting lineups, but at 4,500, he's very well in play. Keep an eye out on the C.J. Watson news and things like that, because you got a guy like Mario Hezonja. He's coming in at 3,200, and the last couple games, he's played the last 4 games. 3 out of 4 games he went 25 minutes plus, and that's something that you can keep an eye out on. It could be a long shot, but I'm just pointing that out. I probably won't have him, but I'm pointing it out. Moving along over here to the Philly and New York game. I'm gonna start off on the Philly side. We know how banged up Philly is, so I don't know what's going on with the splitter, and they're just out. Embiid, he's out, so Noel's gone, and some very nice showing from guys over here. I can start off, with the Gerald Henderson. He had a very nice outing yesterday against that Washington team. He'll be facing this New York team. He had 27.25 fantasy points. It's something to keep an eye out on. I don't think Stark has played as well as he should have yesterday, but and then his minutes, they're all right, and his attempts, they're all right, but I would like to see him his minutes go, back up a little bit. Rashawn Holmes, here's a guy that can ball, man. Don't sleep on him. If injuries and things like that stay the same, minutes like that stay the same, he's someone that can ball. Okafor put up a stinker yesterday. T.J. McConnell, I really like to play. I always like to play. Very consistent and staying in a very nice price point. So hopefully you guys have been taking advantage of him. I've been riding him. So and I don't mind him this game. How can you not? He's been so consistent. Robert Covington, hey, he's old Bob. He's just moving along. He's playing very well, playing consistent, and you can see. Hey, I hope you guys been riding him. Kudos to you if you have. I'm not a big fan of this New York defense, so multiple players are in play here. Philly is coming off a back-to-back, but there's a young team, and these guys just going out there. They got to play. They got to play the minutes, so it is what it is. And it's just a number of guys in play. Justin Anderson, he's recently acquired, so he can ball. He can ball. We gotta figure out what's the plan with him. He can sneak in, and you just have to watch that because he didn't play last game, but that's something to keep an eye out on. But Saric, man, my favorite plays are these 3 guys. Dario Saric. It's just and then you got all value down here. I just like how hard those guys are playing, man. So they got a bright future. On the New York Knicks side, you got Melo coming in at 8,500. The price is pretty high. He's gonna have to give you, for you to be satisfied, you're probably gonna have to get upwards of 40, 50 points. Porzingis, he'll probably be out. Noah, I don't know if he's gonna be playing or not. Keep an eye out on that. If he's not, then they're gonna really need Hernan Gomez. So he's in play anyway because Porzingis is out for sure. Kyle O'Quinn, he's in play as well, but keep an eye out on the Noah situation because then Hernan Gomez and O'Quinn are really in play then. But I know for sure Hunter Gomez is in play. It's somebody I like as well. Derrick Rose, he bummed on me last game, but without Porzingis, these guys are gonna have to step it up. Somebody's gonna have to step it up. We know Melo's gonna take his full allotment, but we'll be looking for Rose to bounce back. I will be looking for Rose to bounce back on this one. And that's all I'm probably looking at on that side. Moving over to the Indiana and Miami game. Um, you looking at when I look at I'm looking at this game, and then I'm looking at these teams, and I'm like, you know, one guy that's really sticking out at me right now is Miles Turner. He's 5,700 on DraftKings, and he's playing upwards of 30 minutes every night, and he's exceeding value, and that's something that we need to take a note. Uh, I wish he was center power forward eligible, but unfortunately he's center eligible, so he has been hitting value and exceeding every night. He does have a tough matchup, but at that price, I just think he's good enough to exploit that matchup a little bit, and with Whiteside, so he's definitely in play for me. Jeff Teague at 7,100. Ah man, um, I don't mind Jeff Teague. He's just somebody that's not on my radar. He's just somebody who's not on my radar. I don't mind him though. Paul George, probably not on my radar. Do I mind him? No, not really, but he's not on my radar. He's at 7,900. He's dipped off on us. I'll have to see if he can get back to form. But he's took a dip on me, and for those reasons, I'm probably out. Monte Ellis, his price crept up, so he's being back. He's being back consistent. He's got to give you 20, and he's been doing that lately. He's worked his way back. He's getting his swagger back, and he's somebody. He's somebody that I don't mind. From this game, you'll probably see a lot of. You'll probably see a lot of oh my God, what's the guy's name? Waiters. So keep that in mind. And then you got C.J. Miles. He's making spot starts. Someone who doesn't really get 30 minutes though, but he can, if he can get hot from downtown, and then that's where he can exceed value. But other than that, I'm probably off of him. So with that being said, I'm gonna move over to the next game, which is Chicago and Cleveland. Chicago will be on the road for this one. The recently acquired Laverne, Cameron Payne, and Anthony Morrow, those guys probably will be suiting up. So keep an eye out for that. Yesterday it was kind of tricky. Denzel Valentine is someone who did not get the start, but he ended up playing 34 minutes. 5 for 9 from the field, 5 for 8 from the 3-point range, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and at minimum price, you just got to figure it out. He hit 36 fantasy points. I wish Chicago and Hoiberg, especially Hoiberg, make his mind up, man. I don't know what's going on over there. You got Bobby Portis. He made the start yesterday, and then he got the start yesterday, and then he goes 16 minutes. So he only had 2 fouls, and it's unfortunate. He plays 26 minutes a game before, and he goes 30 fantasy points, but this is a pretty nice matchup. If you know how to use it. So it is what it is. But on the other hand, Nikola Mirotic, he stepped in last game and he played upwards of 30 minutes, probably like 37 minutes. And, he has a great game. So it's interesting to see. This is the second half of the season. The Bulls are set in with who they have right now, so they're gonna have to try to figure out. For fantasy purposes, you're gonna have to keep an eye on this team. It's looking like anybody could step up to the plate any night, and that's really not good for fantasy. But these two guys right here are safe. And in this game, I like Dwayne Wade as coming in at 7,200, going up against his old buddy. He's gonna have to stand up and be accounted for. um, Jimmy Butler at 9K, I always have a hard time rostering him, but at 9K, I'm looking for even though the hit value got to give us 45, but I'm looking forward to him trying to at least give us about 50. But he's going up against LeBron James, and he's in play. Don't get me wrong. Jimmy Butler is in play. I probably will not be playing him though. And moving over to the Cleveland side of things, right off the back, Kyrie and LeBron is, they're in play. Tristan Thompson, his price has risen, and but he lately he's been deserved. He deserves that 39, 32, 29, 36. He's been playing kind of all right. Am I on him? Probably not, but he's been playing all right. And another guy, Shannon Fry, at that price he's in play. Kyle Korver, someone who's been lighting it up, and that's good for him. At 4,800, somebody who can knock down the shot, and one thing about Kyle Korver, he will stick. He always been the type to stick around around that rim. He has an eye for about 3 or 4 rebounds a game. I've been watching him all his career. He will jump in there and fight for a rebound, and that helps him out. So there you have it. Those are probably the only guys I'm looking for. Looking at from this game. New Orleans and Dallas, a very tricky game right here. Right off the back, I'll start with the New Orleans side of things. You got DeMarcus Cousins coming in at 10.7 and Anthony Davis coming in at 9.5. You get a chance to get Anthony Davis under 10K. Any one of these guys can go off. This New Orleans team is not great at rebounding, even though I believe Nerlens Noel will be active today. I don't think he will, defensively he's not going to make a difference. These two guys here are some of the best around. So, they're both in play. Good luck with trying to find out which one. If you want to go cheaper, Anthony Davis, you want to go, a little bit, over, you want to spend a little bit more, then you can go DeMarcus Cousins. Any one of them can go, ham at any given time. Drew Holiday, it'd be interesting to see if he can get his swagger back. It's only been one game. I mean, they've only, these guys only played one game together. I probably wouldn't panic. The boy knows how to play ball. Last game, he had 20 fantasy points. I rostered him, and then I should have known not to roster him. They got their shiny new toy in Boogie. They definitely wanted to see what it was about. So I wouldn't even mind, if you guys were fading him just to, test the waters. You still got a half a season go, so, it is what it is. But at 7K, somebody who, he's got to give you 35. If you want to wait, there is some other good options on the slate, which I'm still going to get into. Etwan Moore is a cheap option. He's coming in at 4K. He'll probably get you 25 minutes and, something like that. I'm probably not on. None of the rest of these guys I probably won't be on them, and for that reason I'll probably move over to the next. To the Dallas side of things where it can get a little bit interesting. So like I said, We got Harrison Barnes headline this one coming in at 6K. I don't mind to play. I actually like to play. Yogi Ferrell, he's getting the minutes. I'm not a big fan of Drew Holiday's defense, but Farrell, whoever, Yogi, he I probably won't be looking to roster him. I probably like to, if like I pointed out yesterday, I really like Steph Curry. I wasn't able to get him in the lineup, but he was one of my favorite plays on the slate yesterday, and he showed up. So Steph Curry is a guy that I think I'll be going back to the well over Farrell, but I don't mind either one. But I just rather have Steph Curry. Dirk Nowitzki, he's got a tough assignment when he's going to be on the floor. So it is what it is. But he can stretch the floor. I don't mind. Hey, if you put, hey, Dirk, I never mind Dirk. He's always in play for me, just because he knows how to play the game. You know, he knows how to ball, man. He's always in play for me. I really don't care who he's going up against. I'm just worried about him. I'm worried about his well-being in this game right here when he's going against these monsters. But he's in play. I'm not ashamed to say it. And those are probably the only guys that I'm looking at. Moving over to this Minnesota Houston game. Looking at the Houston side of things, at Minnesota side, Karl Anthony Towns. I think it's the last game. He absolutely annihilated these guys. It's going to be a pretty fast-paced environment, pretty fast-paced game. I don't mind the play, especially a pivot off of Boogie and the Brow. So he's somebody who's in play. This is these guys here. That's a triple stack. You probably can't go wrong. Wiggins, he's been, his price has been rising, and I've been fading, and he's been slapping me. He's like, "You're not gonna play me." Hey, Wiggins, it's really hard when you do one lineup, bro. But big ups to what you've been doing, man. You've been killing it. So he's coming in at 8,100. He got to give you at least, from a Wiggins stature. If he hits value, you'll be happy. Fast-paced game. He give you, about 50 fantasy points, then you really satisfied. What he can do. Look at the usage for this guy. 21 shots, 26, 29, 19. He's just been taking initiative. Shooting 29, 26, 21 shots. He's taking initiative. His number has been called, and hey, big ups to him, man. He's definitely rising to the occasion. Ricky Rubio, one of my favorite plays on the slate. I'm definitely gonna have me some Ricky Rubio. I don't care. I told my buddy yesterday. I played him on Fanduel. He helped bolster my lineup. I had a score of probably about 349 yesterday. He really helped me out. I wish I would have put him on DraftKings. I told my buddy I wanted to put him on DraftKings bad, but that was my fault. Ricky Rubio, I can take what he dishes out. He doesn't need much to score. The minutes, he doesn't need that many points. The minutes are there. The dimes are there. Look at his dimes. 14, 5, 16, 11, 11, 12, 7, 13, 6, so on and so forth. So the dimes are there. He will be facing Patrick Beverly. I guess, he just got the ball, man. He doesn't score that many buckets anyway, so, Gorgie Jane, I don't know if I like to play. I don't know if I like to play or not. I probably won't like to play. I'll probably be fading him and and he probably go off for 40. You never know at this pace, but yeah, I probably won't be fading him. Shabazz Muhammad is an interesting play. Uh, when they're gonna need some points or whatever like that, yeah, you're gonna have to keep an eye out on him because if they need the points, he's somebody who gets buckets. He can get buckets. Let's see. He's capable of scoring. 22. He's got some flash. He's just got to get the minutes. And this is a game where he might end up getting some minutes. Because right here you got Brandon Rush. He's been playing. Uh, you know, between 20 and 30 minutes, 25 at least. He's probably averaging around 25 minutes, and since he's been in the starting lineup. And when you play a team like Houston, you get a bump. They don't play too much defense and things like that, so you do get a bump. So the opposing teams. So that's something to keep an eye out on. Here's somebody who gets minutes as well, and depending on what type of lineups they can roll out some versatile lineups if Tibbs wanted to. The thing with that is he plays Gorgie Jing a ton. Gorgie Jing he does expand. He might shoot the three every once in a while, but this guy here he can really stretch it as well. So those are a couple guys I just pointed out. I probably won't be playing them, and it is what it is. On the Houston side of things, you got James Harden, man. He's coming in at 12-2. We all know what he can do. That first game back from the All-Star break, they just figured, they tested out Lou Williams, their shiny new toy, and Lou Williams just loves the offense there. That's what he said. He loves the offense, and he went 9 for 16, from the field, 27 points. He was on fire. It's scary over here. They have some offensive weapons, some versatile players, and Harrell and Capella, to help out with that fast pace, with that fast paced game, and some athleticism around the rim. So these guys can be deadly moving forward. They've already been playing well, so shout out to that organization and that offense. Trevor Ariza probably won't be on him. Patrick Beverly, as much as I'm not a fan of, as much as I'm not a fan of Rubio's defense, I'm still not on Patrick Beverly. So but he's been all right. He's been all right. I haven't been playing him, and I just not gonna play him tomorrow either. So, but he is something to keep an eye out. He is point guard and shooting guard eligible, so that gives you some flexibility. Clint Capella is a guy who can give you the points in the hurry. 26 minutes, 30 fantasy points. Right here, 19 minutes, 30 fantasy points. He's agile. It's hard to figure out his minutes, but if he can stay within that 26, 28, 32, 31 that he was recently getting, then I love him. Look at those minutes. So I don't know, what they want to do over there, and Houston with the big situation, but it is what it is. There's so many guys over here. You got Harden, and then you got the crew. You got Harden, then you got the crew. You can go through this crew and pick a legitimate player. And it's kind of scary, man. And there's only so much minutes that you can get a game, from a lot of guys like this. Eric Gordon, Ryan Anderson can stretch the floor. Lou Williams is a sniper. Montrezl Harrell, even Montrezl Harrell and Nene, when they get minutes, they can be productive. 22 minutes, 22 fantasy points. 18 minutes, 16 fantasy points. 14 minutes, 16 fantasy points. So, they're efficient. They're pretty efficient, So if they want to play, if they feel like they're giving out, it's a lot, as many minutes, as they did like last game, then don't get me wrong, Harden is in play, but uh, he's got to get 60, which he's capable of. But I probably just be looking to fade, man. But it is what it is, and I know I jumped on last night what I jumped on. If you guys are betting, guys, I jumped on. I think they had them by 10 or 11 or something like that. So that's a, that's a. If you guys bet on games, then that's something you guys can look at, as well. Last game of the night. Um, man. I don't know what to say about this one right here, man. You got. I'll start off with the Brooklyn side of things first. You got Brook Lopez. I don't know how long they can keep this game close. Centers like Brook Lopez can, make a difference though. They can get off on this team. Jeremy Lin, he only played about 17, 18 minutes last night. 15 minutes, so they might be looking to monitor those. Rondé Hollis Jefferson, somebody who can play a ton of minutes, young boy, athletic, I probably feel more comfortable rostering, one of these guys than I would Golden State guys. But on the Golden State side, man, if you feel like there's going to be a major blowout, I would say, Draymond Green and Klay Thompson, will probably be in play. Somebody we ain't got to spend all that roster, all that money on, all that money on, and then you'd be looking for some type of hammer, and then there you have it, Andre Iguodala, somebody else you probably can get for cheap, that can return value. That's somebody right there, and even Zaza, with the emergence of JaVale McGee, ain't no telling how long they'll use him. If this game gets out of hand, they might result to a lot of these reserves, But if I was to even play, I'll probably just try to nail down one of these guys over here to be on the safe side. Somebody like Trevor Booker or Hollis Jefferson, cheaper price, a great rebounder, and Trevor Booker. So there'll probably be some some jump shots kicking off, and he'll probably be able to collect a few of those rebounds. But that's about it. That's how I'm looking at it. A blowout of a game for the Hammer, for a blowout. It could very well be a blowout for the Hammer game, and that's something I'm not a fan of. But thank you guys for making it to the end of this video with me. I appreciate you guys, man. Feedback is more than welcome. Hope you guys have a profitable day and profitable night. And try to avoid these snowflakes. I think you cash if you don't have snowflakes, man, on DraftKings. So, try to avoid the snowflakes, man. Try to avoid the snowflakes. Nail down your GPP plays, man. I mean your value plays, and with that being said, I guess I'll leave you guys with that. Like I said, you can follow me on Twitter. You can like my First Down page. It's First Down Facebook page. My group, my Facebook group. We have a lot of members, and a lot of members are helping each other. There's a little humor there, here and there, and we're having fun, and we're helping each other each and every day, man. The links to that, all of that is in the description. And with that being said, guys, cash, man. I'm out.